DJ K. Hey guys, and welcome. My name is DJ K, and yeah, forgive the rugged appearance. We are well and truly in lockdown at the moment, so perfect time for me to get on with another review for you guys. This week we are going to be doing the Denon SC5000M and X1800 mixer. Yeah, I've had these for what 6 months now or so, so I'm kind of fairly used to them now. I know what I like, what I don't like, and this isn't going to be a review as such. This is going to be my top 5 things that I love, top 5 things that I not so love. I could easily list 5 things and more that I love about these things, and I struggle to think of 5 that I don't, as you will see. So we'll crack on with it. We're going to start with the 5 things that I love, and we'll probably do a couple of extra little things thrown in. As I say, I've been using these for a while. I honestly really love these. They're so good. I'm very impressed. Hopefully you guys are as well if you've ever used these. Let's get in, cracked on, take a little look what's going on, shall we? So here we are, guys. We're going to start off with point 1. These screens. These screens are fantastic. Now, those of you who have used like the Nexus 2s or anything like that will be used to this kind of screen. But Denon have really stepped it up a level with their screens here. As you can kind of see, it's so simple and quick to use when I'm kind of scrolling through the various menus, including to get to the settings option. I can just quickly scroll through so easily, so simply, and just change everything I need to do. It's really quick and simple. Now, if I get my USB, which while we're talking about USBs, it's not one of my points, but the connectivity on these is so vast. 3 USBs on each of the devices. You've got ones at the front, ones at the back, your SD cards. For me, that is as much as I'm ever going to need. I don't use CDs, so I don't really care about that. For these players, they've got so much connectivity. Even the mixers as well. Obviously, you've got digital, line, phono, USB and DVS. There's so much you can do for connectivity for these that it's just absolutely phenomenal. Now, if we select my USB, we'll load my profile. Let it do some stuff with the crates, and if we can kind of scroll through, again, it's just there. It moves, it scrolls. It's really easy to just go through, pick a song, and just there it is, and it's loaded, and that's that. Then I can kind of scroll through what's going on. It responds to what I'm doing so quickly, and that is so clear as to what's going on. There's no lag, there's no input lag on that at all. It's just clear, concise movement. That screen is fantastic. It's so clear, it's so responsive, it's just fantastic. I 100% rate this screen. Now, as part of that, I've got to kind of mention the OS that's in there, which obviously I kind of touched on with the screen, but I feel it kind of deserves its own bit. For me, when I've used the Pioneer setup, it's been so clunky. It's been really difficult to use, but for me this is so simple to use. All I need to do, I want to load my next song, so there you go. I've loaded the song, there it has, it's been loaded. I decide, actually, do you know what, I don't want that, I'm going to load Show Me Love. There we go, I've got a nice little bootleg there. Now I want to go and load another song, so we're going to load that one, but I want to prepare it, so I've put that in my little preparation crate. So I can kind of scroll through and see these are the songs that I've added to prepare. And if I go to my other player, if I look in prepare, they are still there. And now if I load that in, it's going to go from that one. So I've loaded it and it knows it's gone, which is fantastic. It's such a simple thing that should work, and it does work, and it's fantastic. Now, the menu is itself, I say, all I need to do is just scroll through. I've got playlists, I've got my history in there. Well, I think I've cleared it all down, but you can see my history. Again, my prepare. I can actually search my entire library, or I can actually just search there. So I can browse my folder, sorry, or I can search there. And again, when you come down to the menu of the preferences that I've already saved, that obviously saved to my USB, it's all got what I want, and it's so simple to choose and look and change. And it's just the interface on these is fantastic. And I've come from Serato, where I've had Serato crash on me a few times, whereas these, I have not yet had them crash, touch wood. They're not going to, but I've not had any problems with them, and that's just fantastic for me, knowing that I can go off, I can go to the toilet, and they're going to still be working. Whereas before, I've kind of go to the toilet, and I don't know if they're going to be back. And even when you use the Tidal integration, again, it will connect to Tidal, establish connection, there it is. And again, it's the interface that I'm used to with this. If I look at my collection, I go to playlist. I don't know if I've got it in here or not, actually. My playlist there. I got to go to random songs. There's some random songs there. I've got new electronic music. I can throw in there, and then all of a sudden, if I load... I said new. This is new stuff that I've listened to recently that I want. I might want to use that. For example, Son of a Gun by Jags is definitely not new music. But if I was to go into, for example, I don't know, Can't Keep Me Down, there you go. It would download it, downloaded, and now I can play it. That part of the OS natively is just incredible. As you can see, it's analysing the song, and there it is. It's playing, and that is as simple as I like. And having that natively built in, natively baked in, is incredible. Now, I am not a vinyl DJ. I am far from a vinyl DJ. But these motorised platters are fantastic. Now, obviously we're sticking it off. We can see it is the motorised platter that's going around there. Now, the feel of this is phenomenal. As I say, I'm not a vinyl DJ, but I've got used to how it works. I can there, speed through, round like this. That's how I like to do it, obviously, but you can do it with the needle thread there, depending what you want. And the actual feel, I've taken this to people who are vinyl DJs, who have come from vinyl, who started on vinyl. So these people that have started on vinyl and have been using vinyl, and they've used these and gone, wow, that's incredible. They've played around with the torque adjust on it and have just gone, yeah, that's fantastic. And I really replicate that myself, because when I'm using it, I can see how impressive it is. And for people that have been coming from vinyl and use vinyl to say that as well, that's just phenomenal, guys. The platters on these, obviously I've got the M version, so the platters on these are just fantastic. They're phenomenal. You're going to love them if you haven't used them. It's made me want to learn more about scratching, more about vinyl, more about how I can use that in my sets. So that's just, it's fantastic. So this next bit, guys, is something that I hope you never have to use or never have to need. It is what happens if someone pulls the power out. As we can see there on, I've taken my USB out just in case I talk too long. And we can see they're working, running and using, and it's doing everything there. If I load something from Tidal, then you can see that we've got music playing on it as well. So let's go to there, load a song, and it will start to analyse it, and there we go, we're playing a song. Now, someone comes up behind me, takes the power cable out, it will come up here warning me the power cable's come out, or if someone turns the power off. So if power cable's out, it's warning me, power cable is there. If I can get it back in time, there we go, it's back in, and the cable has gone and realised it is. So over here, we'll do the same thing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it around a little bit to make it easier for me. So, power cable there. As you can see, power cable out, player still on, power cable back in. And it is happy that it's got power again. So, the fact that I can have that, I can have someone come up behind, take the power cable out, and I will notice by that point if they've done that. Now, the important thing to note with these is if the power cable does come out, and I've got a USB on, they take the power cable out of my secondary drive. My player over here, that gets the power taken out of it. This one here will go into not a 4-bar loop, not an 8-bar loop, but the whole song loop. It will continue playing that whole song because it's loaded the whole song into memory. So that means that even if my cable or my player disconnects, I'm still going to have it going. Obviously, if the power comes out of my primary for too long, obviously there's nothing that can be done. But if I quickly, for example, turned the power off to these drives and powered it back on, it's still going to be on and it's still going to be working. So that for me is just absolutely fantastic, and I love that fact. So yeah, that is the next thing I love. Lastly, I want to say how effective these effects are. You've obviously got this lovely little menu here, which at the moment we've got linked in, and it's obviously got this fantastic Bpm Fx section there. Now, as my BPM changes my song, we're at 115, we're at 115. As it changes, so does that, which is nice and simple, but it's shared across all of the players, so it knows what's going on across there. And obviously this touchpad here is just so simple to use. Obviously, I can change it by using this twister here, which will then go around and do that. But for the amount of effects that you've got in this menu that's so nicely displayed, it's perfect for me. I can just scroll through, go onto Echo, change where it wants to be, as you can see there, and all of a sudden, we're happy. And that is just so powerful. The amount of effects that it's got and how clearly and easily it's displayed is an absolute game changer. Because I hate when you've got to kind of scroll through this little thing here to try and pick the effects. Being able to just look and go, okay, I'm on channel 3 with my Echo, job done. That is just so simple to use for that, guys, and I adore that. So that's the kind of the 5 things that I really love about these. Obviously the screen, the OS, the platters, the effects, and the power off. Those are the 5 things that make these stand out for me as such all-round great players. And as I've said, I love everything about these. They're just fantastic. The mix is fantastic, the players are fantastic. It fits together as a system better than anything I've seen. Now, what I do want to quickly mention, as I said I was going to, kind of rabble on as I always do, the build quality of this, because I know Denon sometimes get that rap of, oh, it's cheap and Pioneer's so good because of the build quality. Don't get me wrong, Pioneer equipment is fantastic. I've used the CDJs, I've used the mixers, I've used the controllers. They are fantastic. I love them and they're great. But so are Denon. The Denons are fantastic. There's no way these are not. The build quality on them is so good. I'm not playing with these faders thinking I'm going to break them. I'm not playing with the crossfader thinking I'm going to break it. I'm not twisting all the various EQs and thinking, blimey, these feel cheap. Nothing about this feels cheap and tacky. It feels like good quality equipment. I've had things break on my Pioneer controller. I've not had anything break on the Denons yet. But anything can break if you abuse it enough. That's the end of the game. But for me, the build quality, the stability, the reliability of these has not let me down once whatsoever. And that is as good as I can ever want. They feel fantastic. They look fantastic. The build quality is just so good that for me, I just don't see why you would go for the Pioneers these days. Yes, they're the leading standard, they're in the clubs and everything like that. But for the price of these, you could just get them and have a couple of grand and a bit spare. Anyway, that's a whole nother debate. I don't disagree that Pioneer are fantastic, and if you want to be able to walk into any club and play, you're going to want to get the Pioneers. That's how it is, really. But if you want to take your gear in, or you want to have something that's a little bit cheaper but still has the quality and absolutely kicks ass on features, go for the Denons, guys. You will not be disappointed, and the quality is there. It's just there, guys. I've had people who play in clubs who are die-hard Pioneer fans. They love their Pioneer gear, they love their Pioneer stuff. I've plonked these in front of them, they've had a play, they've had a go, and they've gone, wow, that's actually amazing. That is so much better than they thought. They're so much tighter than they thought. They have just been blown away by how good, what the quality level is, the performance, the speed, and the features of them. Yeah, there's obviously things they dislike slightly because they're used to that Pioneer stuff. But they even said themselves, once they got over that, they would... My friend bought some of the XTJ1000s, those Pioneer ones that kind of like the mini Nexus 2000s. And they're lovely bits of gear. I've used them and they're really nice to play with. But he even said if this was out and the pricing was around what it was when I bought these, he would have gone for these. And that for me is such a wow as to how impressive these are. So we're going to do most of this rest of the dislikes with me here because I don't really need to show you what I'm talking about for these bits. You will see what I mean on it. I will take you and show you a couple of the points, but you'll get what I mean. So the first one is coincidentally one I am going to show you. So if I just unscrew it here quickly, it's a really random point. And you'll see what I mean by me saying I'm struggling to find things I dislike. Because I dislike the way the LAN cables are. Now, if I show you what I mean. On the back of the mixer, the LAN cable goes in with the clip. Sorry, at the back of the CDJ, the clip is on the bottom. Clips in the back of the CDJ, like that. There we go. Come over to the mixer, and the clip is at the top. There it is. It's at the top. Now, it's such a minor little thing, but for me, for some reason, maybe it's my OCD, maybe it's my need for everything to be as I want it to be, that really threw me off, and that really makes me just like, oh, it's the wrong way around. And like I said, I'm struggling to find things I dislike, but that annoyed me. I don't know why it annoys me so much, but it did annoy me. So that is my first dislike. Next, the screens. Now you'll think, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Carl, you told me these were amazing. But I've got to be objective. The only thing I dislike them is the size. They're fantastic in comparison to the Pioneers, but I've come from a laptop. So the screens are small. I'm used to a nice big 15-inch screen, and these are what I think they're 7s. So it's a big change. Yes, they make use of the space amazingly. They display everything well. But for me, coming from a laptop to them was a big change, and I wish they were bigger. Coincidentally, Denon and I know have solved that problem for me in the SC6000s. The screens are much bigger on them, so I'm really excited. I'm got to make the decision about what I do with those. But for the SV5000s and 5000Ms, I just coming from a laptop, it was a shock, and I would like them to have just been that little bit bigger. But that being said, they are still fantastic, and now I've got used to them, they're more than adequate. I use Serato here and there with my backup controller just to make sure that if anything happened to these, I could still jump on a controller with Serato. And I don't use that and then go back to these and go, oh, I hate it. I can just interchange between the two. So that's great. But yeah, coming from a laptop, they are just a little bit small. Now, again, something that I both love and dislike is the colours. They are amazing and they look fantastic, but the colours do make it look a little bit childish, and that's not kind of the image that I want to present sometimes when I'm at a gig. If I'm at a gig and they've asked and it's a big corporate do, or it's a really important thing, you bring these out and people look at them and go, wow, you got proper CDJs, or whatever you want to call them. Obviously they don't have CD drives, but I'm saying CDJs. You've got CDJs in the mixer, wow, that's fantastic, it's so professional. Then you turn them on and they do all the light, pretty colours. And for me, I go, wow, I love pretty colours. People I've spoken to in clubs have gone, wow, I love pretty colours. Some of the bar staff have looked at them and gone, wow, I love colours. And I like colours. But some people then look at that and go, wow, that's just really childish and pathetic. And you're kind of like, no, but I like colours. And that can kind of change people's impressions of them. Now, obviously Denon, sorry, not Pioneer, blimey, wrong company, have changed that on the new ones. The new ones, again, look much more mature, much more adult, which I like, and it looks much more professional, much more clinical. which is great, but at the same time I do love the colours, and I do hate the colours, because I love the colours and I love that it looks like that and it reminds me of a controller, but it's not quite the image that I always want to present. So that's a 50-50 for me. I like and dislike it, and depending on the image I want to present at the time, works and doesn't work. So yeah, I'm going with dislike because it doesn't quite get the image I want, but I really do like it at the same time. So I'm not sure how well you're going to be able to see this. I've loaded a song on, and I'm going to play, and I'm going to throw a loop. Okay? Now this part of the looping, where I can change the size, works fantastically. I have hit and miss results with manually scrubbing it. So if I go there, that should then allow me to change the size based on the platter, which, as you can see, hopefully, isn't doing anything. I can still change it like that. I can skip it, but I can't change the size. And there you go, now it's working. I didn't do anything different. I just pressed the button and it worked that time. And that's just extremely frustrating that for some reason, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. There you go. It's not working again. But I didn't do anything different. That annoys me. I don't use it very often, but when I do want to use it, I want it to work. I don't want to be playing around trying to get it to work. I just want it to work. I can do it sometimes there. So I just want it to work when I want it to work, and that can frustrate me a little bit. Hopefully you can see what I'm on about there. But yeah, maybe it's me, maybe it's firmware. All I know is the way I'm doing it, and whether I'm doing it wrong, I don't know, but that doesn't work correctly all the time for me, and that frustrates me. The final part of this, for me, is going to be, and again, I don't know whether this is just me, or whether there's a problem, or whether this is expected, but sometimes, when on my mixer, one, I will get phantom kind of lines. So, for example, the lines will randomly on another channel that's not playing, not got anything going on, will just jump up and go, yeah, I'm doing something. Which, again, I don't know if that's a problem with my input signal, my output signal. I don't know if there's a problem with the channels. I don't know. But for some reason, occasionally, it might just spike up a little bit. And that upsets me. If I've got my Sweep FX, it will still work, but it will go to the wrong one. As in, either the lights will be completely off, or it will be lit up kind of on, like, for example, the top right on noise. But if I do the effects, for example, if I've got washout, it will still do the washout effect on the Sweep FX knob. But it will be kind of either not on or kind of over in the noise section. And it makes me wonder sometimes if I actually got it selected, so I might turn it off, and then it will be off. And then I'll be like, hang on, what? So it doesn't quite give me the lights correctly. Same with the mic. If I've left the mic on and I'm just using the switch on my mic, so I've pressed the mic 1 button and I'm using my mic switch, the light will occasionally go off. So I won't know whether I've actually got my mic on the mixer or not. Which again, minor things, but when you want to do things on the fly and on quickly, and you want to just quickly throw an announcement, or you want to make a comment or whatever, I don't want to have to be second guessing what's going on in my mixer. I want to know that when I look at my mixer, it is what it should be. And that kind of is just a bit of a dislike and a bit of an annoyance for me. So yeah, that's it, guys. It's a bit of a mishmash, this video, I'll completely admit. It's difficult for me to get across what I like and what I dislike about these. Because one, I don't dislike very much, honestly. And two, I just like them. If I could say I like everything, I would say it. Because I pretty much do like everything, bar obviously what we've discussed. And the stuff that I don't like is really minor, that it has no functional impact really into what I'm doing. They're an annoyance and they're a bit touch and go, but for what I'm actually doing, what I want to get out of it, they are fantastic players. And I honestly wholeheartedly recommend them. With the new stuff coming out, if you can get yourself a cheap pair of these, just do it. You're not going to regret it. They are fantastic players. They are so good. You will love them. Just get them. just do it. If you have questions, guys, on them, you want to see something about them, you want to know something about them, you want to find out a bit more information, ask me. Drop me a PM. Drop me a message on YouTube. Comment on this video. Just anything, guys, and I will endeavour to answer the question as best as I can for you. As much information, whether I have to do another video because this one's been terrible for you guys and you want to know something a bit more specific, whether I can get it done in a comment or in a reply, whatever. Just let me know, guys, and I'm happy to walk you through these. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. Don't forget to give the channel a subscribe, like this video, check out the rest of the reviews. They'll be there or there, and check out the rest of the content, guys. Enjoy, have a wonderful week, stay safe, have fun.